The woman never would have imagined that in front of the beggar lay a pile of $100 bills. And the sight instantly sparked her greed. Little did she know this was all a test designed for her. But her choice left the old man feeling rather disappointed, so after she walked away, the old man immediately knocked on the paper shack nearby, but this also meant that the woman's interview was over before it even began. After taking everything away, the beggar placed a luxury watch on the ground. Just then the second candidate happened to arrive, and just like the woman before her, faced with the watch lying on the ground, the man didn't hesitate for a second and picked it right up, then walked off without a care, ignoring the beggar's calls. Little did he know he was heading toward the same fate as the woman. Right after that, the old man pulled out a phone and continued his little trap. But this time the man reacted completely differently from the two before him. Not only did he not take the phone, he also told the beggar he could sell it and get a good amount of money for it. Who would have thought that this very act earned him the old man's favor? And Bill's honesty won him a red circle. Before long, all three arrived at the company. The manager suggested they help themselves to some snacks before the interview. But just at that moment, the janitor reached out trying to take an apple. But nearby Bill heard what happened and rushed right over. He then went ahead and packed up the food and handed it to the old man. But what none of them could have ever guessed was that this janitor was actually the owner of the company? And at this point the old man clearly had a plan of his own. The next moment all three were brought to the interview room. As the manager made the introductions, they finally realized their positions would be determined entirely by the sealed boxes in front of them. So they quickly went ahead and opened them. The first man opened his box to find a globe, which meant he would represent the company at a global conference. Bill received a toy car and was given a position managing the company's vehicles. But the worst off was the woman. The dog bowl in her hands meant she could only look after the company's pets. Not only was the woman furious about this outcome, she actually reached over and snatched the man's globe. This selfish moment was witnessed by the manager. But just then Bill stepped in to stop their argument and voluntarily offered to swap his position with the woman. But his generosity was met with nothing but laughter. Little did they know they were celebrating way too soon. It turned out this was all still part of the test. And the final results were hidden at the bottom of the boxes. As they turned them over and opened each one, the first man was the first one eliminated. At that moment the woman was still laughing at him. But the next second she realized she had been cut just like him. And the two of them quickly turned to look over at Bill.